Hey everyone, Scott here to discuss The Amazing Spider-Man 2, starring Andrew Garfield, Emma Stone, Jamie Foxx, Dane DeHaan, Colin Farrell, I don't know how you say that name, Felicity Jones, Paul Giamatti, Sally Field, and Beth Davids and Campbell Scott, and directed by Mark Webb. Now I remember this coming out in movie theaters and I saw it in IMAX 3D at the time. Well, did I like it then? I don't remember. So, let's get into it. We go back to a Richard Parker flashback sequence, but this time they go on a plane to a mission they're going on, which in the comic books they do a mission for S.H.I.E.L.D. to stop the Red Skull. I don't know if that's true in this case. We'll all be getting into when I do the Avengers series with Captain America, the first Avenger. But that scene was very unclear to what was supposed to be happening, and they will never answer those questions as long as I'm alive. Damn. The next scene we see is Spider-Man in a cartoony, action sequence, which reminds me of Batman and Robin, God help me. From the first moments we see Gwen Stacy, played by Emma Stone, I knew she was doomed by the end of this movie. What is Paul Giamatti from Sideways doing in this movie with a bad accent? And I thought I had the worst accents ever. Maybe that's not true. Am I the only one thinking Jamie Foxx's character Max is crazy and annoying? Let me get to his alter ego Electro. I like what they did with Electro, but with Max, it's just terrible. Am I the only one when Max's boss says he's Spider-Man and he suddenly begins to attack his boss? It was a dream sequence. Next thing you know, yep, it was predictable. Dane DeHaan as Harry Osborn. Now, am I the only one who thinks he looks a hell of a lot like Leonardo, a younger version, let me say, of Leonardo DiCaprio? Because to me, he is no James Franco as Harry or Willem Dafoe as the Green Goblin. But he looks more like Leo DiCaprio to me than those two. Chris Cooper, who I just talked about in Cars 3 last weekend, maybe 2 weekends ago, as Norman Osborn, is no Willem Dafoe whatsoever. Max gets electrocuted at his work because nobody could help him turn off the electricity. How stupid are they? Just when they have to be a prick to poor Max on his birthday. Maybe I didn't believe him, but who knows. Felicity Jones as Felicia is the character supposed to be in Felicia Hardy, I'm guessing, aka the Black Cat, who in the comic books is a Catwoman ripoff from Batman. If yes, it was too obvious to me. That scene in Times Square with the background music by Pharrell Williams, with the Magnificent Six, with Electro's theme music, is just the worst in this whole movie. Just the worst. Dr. Kafka's scene with Electro was probably the worst scene, as he shocks him to figure... Well, Dr. Kafka shocking Electro to figure him out was a pretty bad scene. There are some scenes with Mary Jane, who I heard was played by Shailene Woodley of Divergent, who's usually good in other movies too, but maybe she didn't need this part either. Who knows? Or maybe the studio didn't need her. Harry becoming the Green Goblin at the end of the movie for a final battle that makes Gwen's death, as it was in the comic books, was a terrible on-screen, because we knew it was coming, but it was still bad, the way how they took it. Spider-Man vs. the Rhino is in the very bad last shot. Well, not bad, but it's in the very last shot of the movie, and the trailer gave it away. What a shame. That's really bad. Oh, wait, I just said that. Alright, time for the rating. I'll give this movie a 4.6 out of 10. This is the worst Spider-Man movie by far, maybe with Spider-Man 3, and this movie asks questions that never gets answered. So I'd like to thank you guys for joining me in the Spider-Man retrospective, and I promise you I'll get to Spider-Man Homecoming and Captain America Civil War next year when I do the Avengers trilogy. So until next time, With great power comes great responsibility.